Hi, my name's Tim Grady, and I'm here to talk to you and to answer the question, is Solavei a scam? And to share with you my own experiences with Solavei and whether or not I think Solavei is a scam or not. Now, I got into Solavei originally because I had this old pay-as-you-go phone right here. Dinosaur, and it didn't do anything but let me make calls. It doesn't do texting, internet. It didn't have apps or anything. And I wanted to update to something more modern like this one. It has all that, unlimited talk, text, data, 4G nationwide, everything. And I didn't know who to go with at first. I mean, I'd heard of AT&T and Verizon and Sprint and all those big companies, but they all had contracts and they all were charging like 80 to 120 and up per month for unlimited talk, text, and data service. And I didn't want to pay that much. And I didn't want a contract. I didn't have a contract before. I didn't want one. So I kept searching, and I'm glad I did because I found Solavei. And now I didn't know who Solavei was. I never heard of him before. So at first, I thought, it might not be a good idea to go with them because no one had ever heard of them. And then when I saw what they offered, all the unlimited talk, text, data, 4G network, nationwide, all that stuff for $49, which is like less than half of what everybody else charges. I thought, well, maybe Solavei's a scam because I was raised to believe, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then chances are it's a duck. Meaning it's a scam. If it's too good to be true, it's a scam. But I didn't want to label Solavei a scam without giving them a chance to prove themselves to me. So I decided to check them out by Googling them and to see if I could find any information to determine whether Solavei was legitimate or whether Solavei was a scam or not. And so I did a lot of research online and looked everywhere and read a lot of blogs and stuff and a lot of articles and things. And I could not find any information one way or another as to whether Solavei was a scam because it was such, I guess it's because it's such a new company that nobody had ever heard of them. And so there was no information to prove one way or another, which did not help me make my decision. So I did the next best thing and went to step 2. And that was to ask my friends what they thought. They hadn't been living in a cave like I was. And with this phone, they had this kind of phone, and they'd had them for a while. They knew about apps and all that stuff. And so I thought that they might know about Solavei and they might be able to help me figure out whether Solavei was a scam or not. So I shared with them what Solavei was all about, and showed them what the service that they had, the value proposition of $49 for unlimited talk, text, messaging, data, everything, all that stuff. And they looked at it and they're like, man, that's got to be a scam. Solavei's got to be a scam because that's just too good to be true. And which didn't help me make my decision. So at that point, there was just, there wasn't anything else to do but to give Solavei a try. And the great thing about Solavei is they don't have a contract, so I could try them, and if I didn't like them, I could get out. So that's what I did. I joined Solavei to check them out, like from the inside. And for 2 months, I investigated Solavei. I asked questions to all the other people that I hooked up with that were in Solavei. I called Solavei up, customer service, and bugged the heck out of them, asking them all kinds of questions. And I could not find any evidence that Solavei was a scam. I couldn't find any evidence that they were legit either. Other than, I kept hearing good things about them, like, they were backed by millions of dollars, and they had a who's who group of people running it and stuff like that. But I still didn't know whether Solavei was a scam or not until J.D. Powers came along. J.D. Powers is, from my understanding, they're like a big wig, well-respected technology consumer affairs type company. They rate companies with respect to whether they're good companies or bad companies, their quality of their service, and so forth. And J.D. Powers came along and rated Solavei as having a 97% net approval rating, which was something that no mobile service company had ever achieved before. And Solavei was new. And all the other companies been around for years, and they had never gotten that kind of a rating. And so I went like, wow, there must be something to this company, Solavei can't be a scam if J.D. Powers, who was a well-respected company, was backing them like that, and saying that they're such a great company. So at that point, my investigation, which had gone on for about 2 months, it ended, because everything I had ever discovered from talking to people, it all kept falling on the side that Solavei was not a scam, that it was legitimate. It looked legitimate and everything. And nothing fell on the side that it was a scam. And so finally, I was forced to conclude that Solavei was, definitely not a scam, because there just wasn't any evidence that it was. And that was good news to me, and it was a good news to a lot of my friends also that were skeptical. And so at that point, I was sold. I was sold that Solavei was the real deal. And so if you'd like more information about Solavei, I encourage you to get back to the person that way, to that side of the screen over there on the right. Get back to that person and get involved with the wonderful world that's Solavei. This is Tim Grady from Solavei, and we pay zero. Take care.